your passion. You never know what form or why your passion comes in the form that it does. Never assume that that form itself must come to fruition. It may, but it doesn't have to in order to have achieved what it needed to achieve in you that you wanted the most, and that you will use in your life at some point to your benefit, and maybe to the benefit of others as well. You never know. Your life is not done yet.
Right. I hope not.
Well, it doesn't matter if it is, because if it is, you've picked the timing, and that
Yeah.
means you're done with your theme. So don't worry about it. You're not going to cease to exist. You're just going to change your form in the same way that you might change your clothes. That's all. Your
Yeah,
consciousness
yeah.
will still continue because you are an eternal, infinite being. You don't ever really die, you just transition.
Yeah, I remember that from
All right.
when I was little.
Then take the pressure off
Past
yourself and
other lives.
enjoy. Take the pressure off yourself and enjoy what you're doing for its own sake. And then watch the magic happen around you. But again, don't put any insistence or expectation on what that magic needs to look like. Just watch the magic. It'll bring you what you need. Even if at the moment what you need is something that you don't prefer, because it's going to see, how do you react to this? Do you react to it the same old way? Or have you truly changed and you're going to respond to what we're delivering to you in a different way, which is the true measure of change? The true measure of change is not whether the outside world changes. It's whether you change in your response to things that stay the same. That's how you know you've really changed. And then the outside will mirror that change within you. But at first, many people will test themselves. Have I really changed? Oh, look, this has happened again, and now I'm reacting the same old way. So you haven't really changed. So why should the universe?
Yeah.
If you're still frowning, the reflection in your mirror will still frown back. It can't smile until you do.
Mm-hmm.
Does this help you?
I think so. Of course it does. Yes.
All right, then put it to use. Take the pressure off yourself and just enjoy what you're doing.
Yes. Thank you
All right.
so much, Bashar.
You are so welcome. Aveo.
Aveo.
My second question is, I am keen to bring in education-related solution to the earth to free up the kids and the children from the system where we having the system that talk out children from knowing themselves, trusting their intuition. I'm keen to do that. It's really worthwhile. We do it from kids. I think it's very meaningful. Can you give me some idea and inspiration? How should I get started? And am I support in doing this? Thank you.
Of course you are supported in many ways in doing this, and we have talked about this quite often. The basic steps to take are creating with your own imagination and creativity safe environments in which children can learn the consequences of the choices they are making before they make those choices in what you call the outer world, the real world, so that they can learn the connection between choice and consequence. Teach them also that they are as powerful as they need to be to attract whatever they need in life without having to harm themselves or anyone else in order to do so. Notice I said what they need and not necessarily what they want, which can be the product of the ego. The idea also is, if there is something you believe that they need to really learn, that's important for them to learn to thrive in physical reality, then attempt to use your imagination and creativity to adapt the lesson to what excites them already, rather than attempting to diminish their excitement into the lesson. And finally, teach them the formula that we've shared with all of you so they understand that they are self-empowered beings and that they can grow into adults that can make positive, conscious choices that have positive, conscious consequences, and to be of service to all of those in the world by being themselves, their true selves. You can be inspired by starting these things, and you'll be supported by your spirit guides and by the vibration of all the people in the world who seek to have positive change so that individuals can grow up maintaining their intuition, maintaining their awareness of their connection to source and all that is, and express that in the way that allows them to become loving, creative, powerful adults.
Good day, Bashar.
And good day to you.
Bashar, I'm very grateful for co-creating with you today.
As are we, in deep appreciation for this co-creation with you as well.
Bashar, I have a few questions. My
Yes.
first question is, I had an experience in January 2013 when I was flying to China. It had been some time since I traveled. At this point in my life, I was very into UFOs, the end of time, extraterrestrials. And during that flight, I looked out the airplane window when most of the passengers were sleeping. And I really wanted to see a UFO. And as soon as I made that wish in my head, a ball of light appeared not too far away from the airplane.
All right.
This sphere of light moved in different directions for a few seconds and disappeared.
All right.
Oh, Bashar, I was wondering if you could elaborate on that.
Well, what's to elaborate? You asked for something and it was given to you.
Yes.
So, did you do something with that energy? How did you apply that in your life? How did that change you?
That gave me confidence and validation of, at that time in my life, of the things that I believed in and the things that was into.
All right. And that means now you know that it exists rather than just believing that it does.
Yes.
That's a big difference.
Yes.
All right. But I remind you that in a sense, what you said is a little bit backwards. You had the confidence and the validation in your consciousness, which is why you simply asked for a reflection of the validation and confidence that was already there. And that's why it was given to you.
I love that.
All right.
Bashar,
Yeah.
I have another question, which is actually more recent.
Yes.
Did a salt cave meditation on this past March that focused on the heart chakra.
Yes.
That night, I had a dream. I was floating and had the ability to levitate. I saw who I perceived as my oldest aunt standing in the driveway of my childhood home.
Yes.
Shortly after, an image of a completely white background with a face of what I believe was a male with fair color skin, long blonde hair spread outwards, green blue eyes with a pattern and a very sudden message along with the image, which was Arcturus or Arcturian.
Yes.
And then my dream suddenly shifted to a more normal dream. And perhaps I had woken up at that time.
All right. And so many people will tap into extraterrestrial and extra-dimensional connections that they have that guide them in this life. And for a moment, you may have more lucidly tapped into that idea.
I had every intention of attending your recent event, The Gate, which happened 2 days afterwards, and I experienced a tremendous amount of synchronicity after finding out that one of the channelings that you had done commented on the Arcturians having a vibration which serves as the gate, which synchronistically I had that experience. And
yes, it allows you to remember more of who you are in this physical reality so you don't forget as much. It's like a stabilization frequency that allows you more opportunity to maintain a connection to those extraterrestrial and extra-dimensional sources as you live this life.
Does it mean that I have a relationship with those beings?
Yes, you've made a connection. You've made a relationship to guide you, as most people on your planet do, whether they're aware of it or not.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Bashar, the idea of a higher self, it's something that I've been interested in and incarnating as a soul here on Earth. Am I having experiences elsewhere at this time?
Well, yes, but it depends on what you mean when you say the word I. Because you on the physical level are this personality. Your higher mind is simply the non-physical part of you that remains in spirit. You are a projection of a piece, shall we say, a part of your greater being into this dream that you call physical reality.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the greater you, yes,
Mm-hmm.
may be having many different experiences incarnationally or in spirit, so on and so forth, because there are many different levels to every single being. So if you are saying, am I having other experiences? It depends on what level of I you're coming from when you say that. If you're coming from the physical level, then no, this physical being is having this experience. But if you're coming from the idea of the greater soul, the oversoul, then yes, you as an oversoul are having a multitude of experiences simultaneously.
Would I tap into some of those oversoul experiences perhaps in a dream state?
Oh, absolutely. And even in a waking state, you do it all the time, but you may not recognize that you're doing it. You're connecting to parallel reality versions of yourself, other incarnations of the oversoul that you belong to as well, and you're downloading information and experience as you need it, plugging in and out without necessarily knowing that you're doing that. It's an automatic function. You don't always have to know that that's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Because many times you may have an inspiration or a thought. It may be because you're tapping into that parallel reality or a different incarnation or another dimension of reality that another aspect of your greater being is experiencing. You don't always have to know where it's coming from, because the only things you will need to know are how does it serve you in this particular experience? How can you use that inspiration here and now? Just as other aspects may be doing the same thing with you. Whatever experiences you are having in this physical reality may be serving other aspects of you and other beings entirely by them connecting to you and downloading your information and experience that you're learning in this life. So it's a constantly dynamically changing internet of exchanges and vibrations and resonances that are constantly going on, constantly communicating between a multitude of different ideas and incarnations and experiences of your greater self.
Thank you, Bashar.
Oh, you're welcome. That's just the way it is. I had nothing to do with it.
With that, I'm sort of this smaller soul that has been kind of
Yes, you are an
distanced apart, and
yes,
then
you are an
will.
individual. Now, the separation is an illusion, but you are creating the experience of the separation for your own purposes. So, yes, you could say you are an extension, a single soul extension of the oversoul, which can be looked at as a gathering, a multitude of souls in one being. And other extensions may be having other incarnations and so on and so forth. Some of them may be contemporary with you and many of them may not be. Some of them you may know in life and some of them you may not. So some of them may overlap with your time frame and many of them may not. It just depends on the purpose for that particular aspect of the oversoul having that particular incarnational experience. But that's another story. For right now, yes, for practical purposes in your language, you are an individuated soul that then splits into what you call the non-physical higher mind and the physical mind in order to guide yourself through this physical dream.
Mm-hmm.
And what you learn feeds back to the soul as the spirit that is particular to your personality, and thus the soul grows from learning all of the things that you are learning by having this physical experience.
And when I'm no longer in physical reality, will all of my experiences feed into this oversoul? And
Yes.
I'm curious as to how
Well, they're
what I
feeding into it
perceive.
right now. They're feeding into it right now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's look at it this way. Use this analogy. You have some memories of being a child, yes?
Yes.
They still feed into you as an adult. Even though you don't necessarily experience them in the same way anymore, you can always call upon those experiences because they're always a part of you. So it's kind of like that.
Mm-hmm.
You could say the oversoul is the adult version of what you are right now.
Mm. Bashar, I have a question about.
This is your final question.
Okay. I had a very vivid dream after purchasing the contact crystal, and um, I actually had asked this question a few years ago, and there was what I vividly saw as rainbow DNA across the sky, and you had commented on that being a portal, and I was able to change my vibration to be able to perceive that.
Yes.
And next to that was a very shiny metallic spaceship, and you said that that DNA represents my relationship to those on that ship.
Yes.
How can I interact with my interstellar family, or with folks that are my relationship to folks that are, you know, well, on that ship or elsewhere?
Use your imagination.
Hmm.
Follow the formula. See what happens synchronistically to bring those kinds of connections into better awareness within you.
Hmm.
That's all you have to do. And just live your life.
Okay.
Remember, we wouldn't be having this conversation if it wasn't more likely than not leading towards something like that.
Mm.
So you can use this as a marker. Thank you.
Thank you, Bashar.
Aveo.
Aveo.
All right, another question here. So as a practitioner of the Tai Chi martial art, I would like to know from your perspective, Bashar, what is happening when we on Earth, when an individual practices Tai Chi? What is happening on an energetic level? What is happening on a biological level? From your perspective, right? Obviously, you can see different things per se that we can't perceive yet. So from your perspective, what is happening to an individual's system when they're practicing Tai Chi? Peace.
You are raising your frequency and allowing your neurological network, in other words, your nervous system, to be far more coordinated and capable of handling higher frequency energies in a superconductive way.
Hi, Bashar.
Good day. What would you like to discuss this day?
So I know the formula is the most important thing to be, I think, focusing on. And I believe I have some negative beliefs that are preventing me from doing that as best as I can.
Well, at least you have the positive belief that you have some negative beliefs that are getting in your way.
Okay. I've done some digging, and I'm finding that I can't really figure out what it is. Like, I know that there's like not deserving, not capable, but I feel like I'm missing something, if that makes sense.
So are you saying that you have discovered you do have a belief that you're not deserving? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but
what makes you so different from everyone else that you're the only one that doesn't deserve?
And I've heard you question that before, and I know I'm deserving to be on Earth, I think, but I guess it's when it's dealing with things that I am desiring, I guess.
Are you desiring, or are you insisting that those things have to come into your life in order for you to feel like you deserve?
I think I'm definitely insisting.
Well, you know what happens when you do that.
Yes. I feel like I'm not living the life that I want to be living. And
what is it you wish to be living? What do you wish to be doing that you're not doing? What's your passion that you are not allowing yourself to act on?
So I'm a healer, and I'm healing in ways, but not necessarily in ways that I might wish to. I'm working towards it, but
Can you tell us the difference between tell us the difference between what you're doing and what it is you would wish to do?
So I'm a nurse, and so that's, a more traditional way of healing.
Right. And the way that you would wish to heal is what?
A lot of different things. I like writing. I like energy.
All right. And
healing.
Why can't you do those things?
So I am.
Well, then what's the problem?
I guess I'm coming up against fear.
Against fear of what?
Putting myself out there, I guess.
Because what are you afraid will happen if you do?
That I will be rejected or not taken seriously.
Oh, all right. Do you understand the one-sided coin analogy we have used?
Remind me.
All right. You understand that there's no such thing as a one-sided coin. If you have a head, there has to be a tail for there to be a coin at all, yes?
Yes. Okay.
So the idea is If you have a gift that you're excited to give, that is your indication that there must be someone waiting to receive it, or it would be pointless for you to be excited about giving it. There are no one-sided coins in reality. You have a gift, someone is waiting to receive it.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter how many people reject it. It doesn't matter how many people think you're crazy. They are not the ones waiting to receive it anyway.
Okay.
But there are those that are waiting to receive it. And the longer you wait to share it, the longer you are depriving them of what it is they may need in their life. That's not very nice.
No. I have put myself out there in some ways and I kind of got crickets. So is that a sign, like it felt like there was absolutely no interest? Is that a sign that maybe I should be doing it in a different way, maybe?
Not necessarily. It could be a sign that you're not really willing to put yourself out there fully.
Okay.
Because you're getting the exact response that you want to get because you're afraid that that's the response you're going to get.
Okay.
So you're being shown unerringly, in no uncertain terms, by getting what appears to be no feedback, you're getting the feedback that is actually reflective of your fear.
Okay. Is there a way I can work around that?
Well, you can look for examples in your reality of people that are doing the kinds of things you say you would love to do and see that they're doing just fine. And if they can do it, why can't you? That's one way. What's so different about them, except that they don't question the ability they have? They're willing to really put it out there. They're willing to relax into it. They're willing to take a deep breath and let out a big sigh and say, it doesn't really matter who doesn't accept this. What matters is the service I can provide to those who are willing and seeking what it is I have to give, because that's your only audience anyway. Who cares what the others think?
Okay. So just focusing more on that than
Why
the other
not?
stuff. Yeah.
Why not?
Okay.
Of course, because what you focus on is what you get.
Yes. Okay. That's definitely something I need to redirect a lot. I focus on the negative a lot.
All right. So again, do it in whatever way works for you. You can just take a moment. You can put it out there in a way that allows you to sort of do it quietly. But again, when you get used to it, you'll realize there was no point in hesitating anyway, because it's truly who you are. And when you're trying to be someone you're not, it's exhausting, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired?
Yes.
Well, the remedy for that, the cure for that, is to be yourself. Because being sick and tired only comes when you're trying to be someone you're not.
Okay. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Let the tears flow, because when you change your belief, a lot of the belief systems that you have held on to always have to develop a physical component, a chemical component in your body to match what it is you've been holding on to. So when you're willing to let go of a belief, the chemical constituents have to wash themselves out of your body too, and that happens more often than not than through your tears. So let it flow.
Thank
Feel the
you.
relief, tears of relief, tears of release.
I've been doing that a lot this month, so thank
All
you.
right, be yourself. That's the only thing you actually can be anyway. So you might as well just be yourself as soon as possible, because anything else, to match that frequency, it's the giving of an opportunity and a reflection that allows people more opportunity to be themselves, to encourage them to do so, to love them unconditionally in their journey, in their progress. That is a blessing. It's the opening up to the possibility of what you can achieve as the individual you chose to be in this life through the acceptance of unconditional love of existence.
Okay, and this person is saying that their grandfather was an artist and he created thousands of abstract, colorful paintings inspired by lucid dreams and visions. Can you expand on where these dreams and visions come from?
Well, from experiences in spirit, out of body, in parallel realities. Many different places can inspire artistic expression in your particular reality. So if he was experiencing lucid dreams and visions, he may have been tapping into experiences he was having when he was out of body, when he was asleep, and bringing back the memory in the form of a piece of art, an expressionist kind of view of the experience he had on another realm, in another reality, tapping into parallel lives, tapping into extraterrestrial lives, tapping into the oneness of all that is, tapping into many different kinds of things. This is common for artistic expression and people who are inclined to express it that way.
When you see that where you have child prodigies, 3 years old, creating classical music,
Yes,
and they come from an artistic family or a musical family,
yes.
the genetics play a role in their ability?
They can, yes, in making it a little easier for them to access. It's like having, shall we say, a more refined receiver in a radio kind of sense that picks up on more rarefied frequencies, more capable to pick up on those rarefied frequencies. So yes, that can come with the body. It can make it easier for the child to access those particular frequencies that would give them those inspirations, that would give them that knowledge and allow them to download it and express it physically in that way.
So, in the sense of that, the channel, Darryl, comes from a vocal family that has talent
Yes,
in the vocal area. Was that part of the genetic manifestation that was appropriate, or how did
yes,
that work?
yes. The answer is yes. Artistic expression, vocal expression, different forms of communication were important in the genetic structure. The ability to tap into knowledge about communication, knowledge about the idea of languages, knowledge about the idea of vibrational frequencies, whether that be expressed vocally or artistically, doesn't matter.
Really interesting. This person has a really deep connection with wild roses, and they're drawn to rose gardens, everything rose. They have flowers all over their room. And their spiritual teacher has the name of Rosa.
Yes.
So they were wondering about creating a rose garden, and if you could guide them where the passion for roses actually comes from.
Well, it's a connection, especially with wild roses, to longevity and ancient times and ancient knowledge, because the wild rose, in a sense, is what you would call the original rose and has been around for thousands upon thousands upon thousands, perhaps even hundreds of thousands of years in its present form. Everything else that you call a rose is usually hybridized off of that. So it's like going back to the original form, connecting to the idea of the ancient knowledge, the ancient ways of connection to the universe and nature. That's its general expression. Creating a garden would be an expression of forms of it to share with different people who are attracted to different expressions of the hybridized original rose. So it's like planting seeds of love in different ways that people can relate to. Different colors, different styles, but all goes back to the idea of the original wild rose, which forms the foundation of the expression symbolically in your culture of the expression of unconditional love.
Beautiful.